This video covers everything you need to become acquainted with zInspector so that you can start inspecting with confidence. We recommend it for all new zInspector users as well as a reminder for anyone who may need it. Basically, zInspector consists of two parts. First, we have the website, and we also have the app, which is where you're going to do all your inspections. To begin with, for the website, we have our timeline here, which is where all your inspection history lies. Here we have multiple options to search from. For example, you can search by property name or by a specific activity. We also have different view options. For example, you might want to view only your media, so you're going to click here and disable the rest. Or we might want to view only our inspections, so we're going to click on here on Documents. Here we have another filter option for our media. We can go ahead and start typing an area name, and then we will only see the pictures associated with this area. Moving on, let's take a quick look at our Tenants tab. This is where you're going to invite all your tenants to do move-in inspections or periodic inspections. The other option you have here is to also invite your tenants to remotely sign an inspection that you did. This is actually very easy to do, and we have multiple videos specifically on that. Now let's quickly go through our Properties tab. We're going to go to our admin page here. So under here you have all your properties. Basically, you can think of it more as your unit list. Again, you have multiple search options here, but what's most important is this View Edit Areas button. Here you see a list of all your areas for this property. You can add areas or rearrange them. For example, I maybe want to see my bedrooms first. And you can also add your area descriptions here. These are necessary for you when you have two or more of the same area. So I can type something like East and Master, and then I will be able to distinguish them. I also wanted to show you some other admin users tools that we have over here. For example, we have our Contacts tab. If you select Group, you will be able to see all your users here. By going to Settings and Area Details, you will be able to manage all the details that you have under each area. And again, by going to Settings and Accounting Integration, you can do the sync between your accounting software and zInspector. We have an integration with Rent Manager, Rentec Direct, AppFolio, and Propertyware. More videos and instructions on that you can find on our support website, support.zinspector.com. Now let's take a look at our app. So here's our app home screen. To actually start inspecting, we will select a property here by tapping on Property Unit. And we can choose from the list that we have, or we can choose to add a new one over here. I am going to choose 999 Smith Test. And to start inspecting, we will just tap on Inspect. Here we have a list of all available templates to use. These are set by default. However, on the website, you can actually customize this list and make it be anything you want. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to choose to do a move-out inspection. So here, to cover the basics, this is our inspection template. The way to look at this is that anything that is underlined is clickable and anything in red is required. So under the tenants, I'm going to start typing the tenant's name. And then I have the inspector name here. Over here, this area here, we have the instructions. These will not show up on your final report, but you can actually edit these and make them be whatever you want. And these are instructions for your inspectors to do the inspections in the field. You can actually have a video embedded here if you want. So next, we have our move-out conditions. This is our condition table here. So this list of areas here will dynamically change based on what you have configured on for your property on the website. For this specific property, we have a bedroom, a bathroom, a kitchen, and a living room. However, we can actually edit these by tapping on the Edit Areas button right above the list. Now here we have multiple options like to delete an area we don't want or to add a new area. Or we can also reorder the areas. Finally, we can also add an area description here. This is going to be necessary for you if you have more than one of the same areas. And then we would hit Proceed and Save. But for now, let's go back to our inspection. Moving on, let's take a quick look at our condition table. Here under bathroom, we have all the details associated with this area. And to actually start inspecting, we will go ahead and mark everything as satisfactory by tapping on the little check mark right above the S's. And from here, we're going to make our changes based on what is actually going on. So for the condition values here, the N is for new, the S is for satisfactory, the D is for damaged, and the exclamation mark is for action. There's a big difference between damaged and action. If something is marked as damaged, it will typically be considered as a tenant damage and will likely result in a tenant charge. If something is marked as an action item, it would mean that we would have to take action for it. But let's take a look at this with actual examples. So let's say that for the cabinets, we have just had them installed, so they're going to be marked as N for new. Moving on, for the door, let's say that there is damaged and there is a hole at the back of it. So we're going to mark it as D for damaged, and we're going to also mark it as an action item. We're going to choose repairs required, add our comment, and take our picture. Now the idea here is that when something is marked as damaged, we're required to take a picture and add a comment. When something is marked as an action item, we are required to just take a picture. Now moving on, let's say that something's brand new, we're going to mark it as N for new, but let's say that we have just had new flooring installed, but the vendor didn't install the trim right, so we're going to mark it as an action item as well. Flooring required. And for this one, we're going to be forced to take a picture. Let's say that we're okay with these ones. We're going to leave them as they are, satisfactory, and we're going to go to the next area. Again, we're going to tap on the check mark right above the S's to mark everything as satisfactory and make our changes from here. Now, let's say that this closet is very old. It's not a tenant damaged, so we're not going to mark it as a damaged item. And also, there's not really anything we're going to do about it, so we're just going to tap on S and hold, and we have further options right over here. So we can mark this as P for poor. You can also make these codes be whatever you want. We have some Australian customers that have them double digits, like SC, satisfactory and clean. Same goes for N. If I tap and hold, I have more options here, like excellent. Now for the rest of these, we're going to leave them as they are and go ahead to our next area, kitchen. Now for these ones, do you see that the S's are already green? And if we go further down, we can see the D red and exclamation mark. These are actually the conditions from our previous inspection. Also, if we tap and hold on the camera icon, we will be able to see the pictures that we took for our previous inspection. Same goes for the comments. Do you see where it says C: not working? This is the comment from our previous inspection. If I go on the top, I can see here that the last inspection was a move-in, and I can also see that the compare mode is on. So if I tap on this one and hold, I can actually apply these values and override the ones that I have now. But for now, let's go ahead and mark everything as satisfactory and make changes from here. Now, let's say that there's an item that we don't have on our property right now. For example, let's say that our kitchen here doesn't have a dishwasher. In this case, we can tap on the little X icon right next to the camera icon and mark it as not present. This is going to be remembered for all future inspections. Of course, you can also edit these details on the website under Settings and Area Details. Another option you have here for the details is to add detail characteristics. Do you see the 3 dots within the brackets? If you tap on here, you can enter a specific description for this detail, like a model number, serial number, paint color, or flooring type. For example, here, refrigerator, Frigidaire, and model number. And then all our data uploads to the website, becomes searchable, and is actually remembered for all future inspections. Now you can see that there's a little red asterisk right here where it says living room. This means that this area is not yet completed. Whereas if I go up, I will see a little green check mark next to all the previous areas, which means these are completed. If I try and submit this right now, I will get an error. Cannot continue until the inspection is complete. So we're going to be prompted to complete the living room. Again, we're going to mark everything as satisfactory by tapping on the little check mark right above the S's. And here for light fixture fan, Let's say that we have some loose wires. So we will mark this as an action item and damaged. We will choose repairs required, add our comment, and take our picture. Now the idea here is that from the camera screen you can actually do the entire inspection. You see here it says move out, this is the inspection we're doing, living room, this is the area we're at, and then light fixture fan. If I swipe here to the left, I will go to my next detail. Swipe, next detail, switch outlet. Then swipe again, next area detail, wall ceiling. Now if I want, I can also tap on the detail and I will be able to jump from one to another. Same goes for the areas. Swipe and go to the next area, or tap and jump to another area. Choose your condition, tap to add a comment, or choose to add a smart comment right here from the preset options that we have. Now let's go back and submit our inspection. Here we have a preview of the inspection, and our inspector's signature here is in a solid color, which means it's required, whereas our tenant's signature is in a transparent color, which means it's optional. And then we're going to hit submit or submit email. There's a significant difference between these two. If we hit submit, the report is going to be sent out to all the company email addresses that I have set under settings, profile settings, and email integration on the website. On the other hand, if I hit submit email, I would be able to also send the report to an external email address, like our tenants, for example. So we're going to hit submit. Now we can take a look at the email we received with the report. Here we see the report attached as a PDF, which you can easily print or email even if it has hundreds of images, videos, and 360 images. The size will be just right. The email also contains two links, a public link for the report, which you can share with anyone, and an internal link that takes you to the zInspector website for modifying the inspection based on your user privileges. Back to the app, do you see the gallery button? Two photos, one on top of the other? Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. Here we have all the recent photos that we took on our device. These photos will stay on the device for a few days depending on your settings. The default setup for this is 7 days. And here you can actually edit these photos. If we tap on the little pencil icon right here, we can change the inspection template, change the area, tap on bathroom and choose another area. We can also choose a specific detail here, and we can correct it in case we make a mistake. Also, we can add an action here and comments. And then we can also delete the picture right over here. Going back, let's take also a look at this other option that we have, which is the felt tip marker. Now here we can choose to either add a square highlight, for example like this. We can choose a different color for it. And then we can also add an arrow, choose a different color, add some text, place it wherever we want, and draw anything we want. And then save. This is actually saved as a copy of the original photo. Going back, I also wanted to show you the Quick Pictures mode that we have over here. Quick Pictures allows you to take informal photos of the property, for example, for marketing reasons. We will tap on Activity here, select what we want. For example, I will choose Notices. And we can skip on Area and Action. Then we can add our comments, for example, 3-day notice. And we're going to take our picture. Now, if I go back, I will see this message. Would you like to process a report? Yes. So now I have a time-stamped, GPS-stamped, and user-stamped picture that I left a notice on the door. Also, one last thing from the app that I wanted to mention was the 360 pictures that we have. So if we go ahead and inspect again and choose whatever template we want, for example, now here going down to my conditions table, next to the little camera icon, we have a little globe icon. So if you purchase one of these 360 cameras, you can instantly take 360 pictures of the entire property. Now we have more dedicated videos specifically on that if you visit our website support.zInspector.com, along with other very useful articles like how to invite your tenants to do a move-in inspection, or how to sync with an accounting system like Upfolio, Propertyware, Rent Manager, Rentec Direct, and many more useful videos and articles.